In Pokemon Legends of Arceus, they gave us some really strong Sun abusers with Hisuian Typhlosion, a new Typhlosion form with a ghost typing, and access to Eruption alongside the Hisuian Lilligant, which is a fighting grass type and has access to close combat and still the same tools that Lilligant provided in Sleep Powder and After You. We're going to be trying both of them that ended up making top cut at one of the biggest online Regulation D tournaments to date. This team features Hisuian Typhlosion and Hisuian Lilligant. The idea of the team is to sweep in Sun, with the Heat Rock Torkoal extending the Sun turns to 8 with Helping Hand and Yawn support for the heavy hitters. Hisuian Typhlosion is a ghost type that is able to be immune to Fake Out as well as Extreme Speed from Dragonite, which is nice, and a very fast speed tier, able to outspeed a lot with the Eruption and do a lot of damage in the Sun. Lilligant with the new fighting typing and is able to go for close combat as well as Leaf Blade for some really strong damage alongside the Photosynthesis Pixie Plate Fluttermane with the special attack booster that's able to do good amounts of damage. Thundurus is nice on this team because of all the Rain Dance Tornaduses that have been appearing, with the Terra Dark 4 covering the Taunt while having some support options with the Scary Face, Sunny Day, and Taunt alongside Wild Bolt Storm to hit water types, and the Assault Vest Ursaluna making it an extremely bulky Pokemon that's great into Trick Room and able to chip away their teams to weaken them for Lilligant or Typhlosion. If you would like to check out the details of the team or the creator, they will be in the description down below. Talonflame, Landorus Eye, Serena Iron Hands, Tyranitar Bronzong. Is this a Talon team or a Trick Room team? I can't tell. Sandforce Landorus Eye might be the interesting ability here. Okay, we have, I don't know, are you Talon or is this like the bluff and it's like Choice Band Talonflame and you have Trick Room on the Bronzong? I could see that too. It's tricky because I really don't like dealing with the, Talonflame. I guess Thundurus is going to be good here because I can do the Wild Bolt into the Talonflame. I also have Scary Face, although the Serena is making it a little bit awkward to really deal with here, huh? I don't mind Typhlosion lead, I think, with Thundurus. I don't think it's too bad. Fluttermane isn't bad against this team, but I don't pick up any knockouts specifically, I think, even with the Sun. Lilligant can help. I think I need Lilligant to break through Tyranitar because I really don't have a good way of breaking through Tyranitar, and I think I need Torkoal for Sun because it's going to be really crucial. The Ursaluna is just really weird in this game because I have no idea if you're going to go for Tailwind or if you're going to go for a Trick Room strat. If you go for Tailwind, the Ursaluna is absolutely useless for me because it doesn't even take hits because most of my opponent's mons are physical attackers. And if it's the other way around, and if I bring Fluttermane, it's not exactly super easy to use, I think. We're going to see the Talonflame Bronzong lead. I feel like this has to be like a Choice Band combination. I feel like it has to be. Who knows? They could go Serena, click Trick Room. They could go Serena, click Tailwind. They got quite a few options. I think I'm just going to taunt the Bronzong, and I think I'm going to go into Torkoal here because I am not taking the Brave Bird with the Typhlosion. The Typhlosion is going to be a necessary sweeper, so let's see if we can position it. So switching to Torkoal to take the attack. This could be a Terra from the Bronzong. I have no idea. I really feel like this is Choice Band Talonflame, and they're just going to Brave Bird and try to get Trick 'em up. We're going to see a Terra come out. So this might be Terra on the Bronzong just to make sure that it survives the hit. No, Terra on the Talonflame. Is that Terra Flying? Ah, Terra Flying. Okay. So that's fine because I switched in Torkoal. And Torkoal is going to be able to eat this attack okay. Brave Bird is going to come out, which is not too surprising. It is going to go for the Brave Bird into my Torkoal. As you can see, my Torkoal absolutely takes that extremely well. They use their Terra. Let's see. Do you have Mental Herb on the Bronzong as we do go for the taunt here into the Bronzong? Is this a Trick Room that I was trying to set up? It is Mental Herb. Okay, unfortunate for me. Gravity. Oh, for Landorus setup. Interesting. Okay. Which means I can hit them with Wall Bolt Storm 100% accurate, but hey. I kind of want to taunt the Bronzong. And I want to overheat the Talon. I don't want to taunt the Talonflame, actually. I kind of want to taunt the Talonflame in case they try to Tailwind, because the gravity feels like it should be a Landorus setup. Oh man, I don't know if they switch out to Bronzong or they switch out to Talonflame for Tyranitar. I feel like Tyranitar comes in for a slot, but I have no idea which one. I think I'm going to taunt the Talonflame and Overheat. Or maybe, actually no, I'm going to Yawn the Bronzong. Alright, no switches on either side, so I'm able to get a taunt off in a Talonflame to prevent a Tailwind. Yep, okay, they did Tailwind, perfect. Gravity Hypnosis, right. Okay. That's not too bad for me, I suppose. I can taunt the Bronzong to make sure the Thundurus doesn't stay asleep. The weird thing is this position is just really awkward. Because, again, they can go in a Tyranitar. I'm surprised they have not yet. They might do it this turn because the taunt into Bronzong might be a bit too obvious. Maybe I should have just Wall Bolt Stormed here and try to KO the Talonflame. I don't think it's like too bad of a position because if the Tyranitar does come in, I can Sunny Day next turn. We are going to see this switch out. Okay. Into the Tyranitar. Iron Hands, actually. Okay, that's fine. Surprised. Oh, then no Tyranitar. It must be Landorus in the back. I do taunt the slot. We're going to see Brave Bird come out into Torkoal? No, into the Thundurus, all right. It doesn't really do any damage, which is beautiful. I am going to be able to go for the Wall Bolt Storm, I suppose. Torkoal takes his first turn of sleep, which is okay. I'm just going to Wall Bolt Storm here, and I'm going to overheat the... Actually, should I overheat? Nah, I'd rather get a Yawn off into Iron Hands. They could swap in a Landorus, I suppose, but... Let's see if... They finally should, I think. I think Talonflame should switch out, but we'll see. I like the idea of Typhlosion, though. Typhlosion just destroys them with the attacks. They do go for a Fake Out into Thundurus, but I do have to Cover Cloak. They go for another Brave Bird, probably also double my Thundurus. Oh, they target the Torkoal because they don't want to give me a free swap into Typhlosion, which makes sense here. Okay, perfect. Gonna be able to get a Wall Bolt Storm off into the knockout into the Talonflame. I really like the idea of Typhlosion sweeping this game. I'm pretty sure that Eruption just nukes these mons if I get it in freely. The Bronzong's Mental Herb is already wasted. Torkoal wakes up, which is really good, and I get a Yawn off. Fantastic. Okay, great position. Great position. So Sandsear Storm Landorus Eye is probably coming out here, which is fine. Yep. Okay. I want to keep the Torkoal around because I can Helping Hand. I could also just Sleep Powder them because I have a Lilligant. So I don't know if I want to actually stay in or not is the question. I do want to go for... Maybe I should let both go down and just let Lilligant come in and next to Typhlosion, click Sleep Powder or Eruption. Or I could just nuke everything with the Eruption. Actually, no. I'm going to keep Torkoal around. I'm going to taunt... Should I taunt... Nah, I Scary Face the Lando, I think. And I Protect. Because they're going to withdraw Iron Hands. They're going to go out into the Bronzong, which we know about. Because they don't want to sleep. And then the Landorus is just going to go for the Sandsear Storm, I imagine, with the Gravity setup. And then we go for Helping Hand Eruption with the Typhlosion. And then I think we just nuke their team. And Scary Face is just as secure that the Landorus, if this for some reason, if this is Scarf Landorus Eye for some reason, I'm just making sure that my Typhlosion is just guaranteed faster. So we are going to go for, we're going to see the Sandsear Storm, pick up the knockout into Thundurus. Absolutely fine. Thundurus goes down, but it's done the job I needed to do. It's prevented all the speed control methods that my opponent could have really went for. Gravity actually returns to normal, so they even have like a less likely option. Actually, no, so it was smarter that I didn't bring in Lilligant immediately, because now I could just go for Helping Hand Eruption sweeps with my Typhlosion. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to click Helping Hand. We're going to go for the Eruption. How much they could do here. And I'm pretty sure that Typhlosion, again, unless it's Scarf Landorus Eye, we should be fine. And it has to be Timid Scarf Landorus Eye. But, okay, no switches. Maybe a Protect here? No Protects. Okay, Eruption, Helping Hand, Sun boosted. Double knockout. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. All right. I do get the knockout onto both. And I don't see anything. I don't think your Iron Hands is taking this attack. I really want to Terrifier. I really want to Terrify. I think I'm just going to Terrify my Typhlosion and just go for the Eruption. Let's see this one-shot the hands here. Sun boosted Terrifier Typhlosion. in the sun. I don't think it's living. Don't forfeit. I want this damage. I want to see this knockout. Not every day you really knock out Iron Hands with a non-super effective move like this. You have a super effective move. It's like come on, go for a fake out, or not fake out, go for wall charge or something. I don't know, just don't click fake out on Typhlosion, because I am blasting through this Iron Hands right here. No Tyranitar was just so surprising. I really thought it'd be like Tyranitar in the back alongside the Landers I was expecting when they subbed the gravity, but I was just not expecting no Tyranitar. But I guess maybe they were really scared of Ursaluna like that much. But I didn't think Ursaluna was really that great into her team. Eruption gonna come out, Terrifier, blow up the Iron Hands, and that is going to be a good game. So Typhlosion was really strong there. I was able to set up a really nice position. I denied any opponents or speed control methods. I had suspicions on what they could have been. The gravity made a lot of sense to me with the Landis Eye combination. It was just like the question of whether they have Trick Room or Tailwind, but by the way, they were playing it like first turn. Thought it was going to be the Trick Room setup. They didn't with the Mental Herb. And then when they subbed the gravity, it's like, oh, Landis is in the back. They're probably going to Tailwind instead. So I just taunted Talonflame. And thanks to it losing the Gale Wings, because they tried to KO the Typhlosion with the Terraflying Brave Bird, but the Torkoal switch just made that easier. Broke Gale Wings and then taunt the Talonflame that's no longer Gale Wings boosted, and yeah, that ended up working out perfectly. Iron Hand, Xianpao, Heatran, Fluttermane, Annihilate, Cresselia. Alright, so Xianpao, no Dragonite. I do like Typhlosion a decent amount, but the Xianpao is, of course, super threatening here, so that's something I'm going to have to absolutely respect. So Typhlosion damage output's really great. I love the Ursaluna actually in this matchup. It can do a lot of work against my opponent's team. The Fluttermane could actually put in some work here. Although I'm not speed booster, so I would like to outspeed the Xianpao possible. Just gotta make sure that I have the right tools here. I do want to bring the Typhlosion. I think Typhlosion lead is pretty strong. Do I want Fluttermane is the question. I don't feel like I need it. It's not bad, but it's not immediately useful. I don't like Thundurus too much in this matchup either, because I can't really do anything to the Xianpao. Maybe I could taunt with the Thundurus, but it's not really like super useful. I like the Lilligant plus the Typhlosion lead, because I feel like I'd just be playing the same mind games as Venusaur Charizard, where I could go for like a switch to Torkoal play and really just mess them up. So I think I'm gonna go with that. And then in the back, I'm gonna have the Ursaluna, because Ursaluna is good against the Heatran and also the Torkoal. So let us see how this team is going to perform against this, because Xianpao is just hard to really maneuver. Cresselia is kind of interesting on this team. Their best abuser is probably like Iron Hands, which isn't like a great attacker into my team specifically. We're going to see the Cresselia Xianpao lead. All right, against my Lilligant and my Typhlosion. So Sucker Punch mind game is definitely possible. I can go out on a Torkoal if I really want to and click the Sleep Powder, which I don't think is a bad option here. And that isn't a bad play at all, unless I want to expect a safety goggles switch in, like goggles on the Iron Hands. But I think I will swap here. I'm going to go into Torkoal, and I will go, I don't know, the play just feels so scripted to go into the slot. I wonder if I can nuke the Cresselia with Terrifier Eruption in the sun, because they might just try to get rid of the Lilligant right away. I think I'm going to risk it, actually. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to go into Torkoal. I'm going to go for the Eruption immediately. I'm going to try to read them going for the Ice Spinner or maybe Protect to try to cover the Sleep Powder, because I feel like it's so obvious for me to. But maybe they go for the Sucker Punch on a safe play, which would be pretty fair. But I kind of feel aggressive here. I do feel aggressive with the Typhlosion. I feel like with this team, you do want to play aggressive when you have the opportunity to. So we will go for the Terrifier with the Typhlosion. All right, let's see what they're going to go for. Going to be nice. They protected. Okay, that's really good. That's really good. Okay, so that worked out for my Lilligant play. But let's see this Terrifier Eruption in the sun from the Typhlosion. I'm not expecting it to knock out Cresselia. Cresselia is just such a bulky Pokemon, but I expect it to do a massive amount of damage here. Good amount of damage to the Cresselia. And Icy Wind going to come out, actually. Okay. Going to be fired off into my Typhlosion. and my Torkoal. Completely fine here. I don't mind that too much because I think even if they Sucker Punch again, Typhlosion should be able to still KO the Cresselia with Eruption. I could also hard swap if I really want to, but I think I'm just going to stay and click another Eruption. I'm going to go for the Overheat and the Xianpao, because if I get a Xianpao, Sucker Punch is really nice. But we're going to see the swap from the Xianpao. This is Heatran coming in, which is fine too. So I gave that thing a Flash Fire, but I mean, the Cresselia is getting knocked out here, which isn't too bad. Luckily, Flash Fire doesn't stack, because if it did, that would be pretty crazy. We are going to go for the Eruption and just knock out the Cresselia. I probably should have anticipated the Heatran and maybe went for the Yawn there. That was definitely a not great play on my part, but although I would probably expect the Cresselia to switch out more likely, but yes, I think we're in a very strong position still. The Heatran is something I'm going to have to watch out for a bit. I don't think it's too bad. We're going to see the Xianpao come in, all right? Do I need Typhlosion to clean up this game? Not really. It's not too... I mean, it could be really useful for an endgame cleaner, although I do like my other Pokemon remaining. I think I'm just going to go for an Eruption again, and I think I'd rather just go for a Yawn into the Heatran. I want to make sure that I get that Heatran to sleep. We're going to see the Terra actually come out from my opponent's Heatran. All right. Which is fair here. Going to be into the Terra Grass, which is... Yep, Terra Grass. All right, so it's going to be immune to Sleep Powder, but I am going for the Yawn. They could double up my Torkoal, I guess, with Sacred Sword Earth Power, which might KO, which is fine. They go for a Throat Chop, okay. Typhlosion actually took a lot of damage. The Sucker Punch would have done way more than I expected, actually. I thought I would take that a little bit better. Terrifier is going to come out, Eruption into the Xianpao. It's super low HP, but look at that damage. That damage is still pretty good. A Flamethrower into the Typhlosion. Unfortunately, I am not going to be the Goggles set. Or not Goggles, Flash Fire set. But that is fine by me, as we are going to get a Yawn off into the Typhlosion. Actually, no, I think only the regular Typhlosion gets Flash Fire. This one gets, what's it called? Frisk. So this is fine. I go out on a Lilligant now, and I'm in a really good spot because I can go... they have Sucker Punch. This is kind of a weird situation because I'm not sure if they're going to switch out the Heatran or not, or if they're going to Sucker Punch with the Xianpao or not. I kind of want to just go for a Leaf Blade into the Xianpao and just click Yawn into the Heatran, because I'm either going to get the Heatran guaranteed to sleep or whatever's coming in drowsy. So, ooh, okay. They don't switch, which is fine by me. I am able to knock out the Xianpao, which is fantastic. We're probably eating a Flamethrower, which is fine. Oh, it's in a Torkoal, actually, huh? They anticipate the Torkoal swap? Interesting. Yawn going to go out into the Heatran. Is going to fail. The Heatran is going to stay asleep. What's their last Pokemon? Is it Iron Hands? I'm trying to figure out what their last Pokemon is for them to position it like this. Iron Hands is going to come out. Okay. Which I am fine with personally. I'm going to go for a... I'm just going to close combat the Heatran because I need damage on the Heatran anyway, and I'm just going to Yawn the Iron Hands. They can fake out to sell out turns, but it's okay. They let me get close combat off in the Heatran. A really good amount of damage. It's not a KO, but still very solid. We are able to get a Yawn off into the Iron Hands here. Or maybe not. Let's see what they are going to click here. Going to be the Ice Punch, actually. Okay, no, that's fine. Can't get frozen in the sun. Focus Sash is going to allow me to survive the turn. And I get the Yawn off in the Iron Hands to make it snooze a little. And now we can go for Helping Hand close combat in the Heatran. And let's see, are you leftovers? Probably should be left. Oh, not leftovers, actually. All right, beautiful. I can go for Helping Hand close combat and just pick up the knockout on the Heatran. Unless they get the first turn Wake, I suppose. But I'm not sure if you're even going to protect here. You might even try to pick up a knockout because you might not expect this Helping Hand coming out. But it looks like you did actually anticipate to protect. But I do get the sleep turns, luckily. I am able to get the close combat off in the Heatran and pick up that knockout. So Heatran is gone. And the Iron Hands can pick up the knockout onto Lilligant. I mean, even if the Heatran woke up, I still have an Assault Vest or Ursaluna in the back. But still, it's not easy per se. Especially since this Ursaluna doesn't actually carry a normal type move. So maybe they'd come down to a bit. Could have preserved my resources more to take down the Heatran, but we did get a little bit lucky with the sleep turns. And yeah, now we just secured a game guaranteed. The Iron Hands is still asleep. And now we can go out into our Ursaluna. We can go for a Helping Hand Headlong Rush. And that should secure the game, I'd imagine. If it doesn't... What, are you Shuckaberry? If you're Shuckaberry, then I just have to hit an Overheat probably. Let's go for the Helping Hand. Let's go for the Headlong Rush. Gonna be forfeit. Really nice. So yeah, I was just able to dish out a lot of damage. I had a feeling that the Sucker Punch play is a little bit obvious and the Torkoal swap is very potential. So I was like, okay, I have a feeling they're either gonna maybe A, just try to target the Lilligant and try to break a sash because Sleep Powder is something they didn't really want to play around, or B, that they could protect, and they actually end up going for the protect. So I was just able to get free eruptions off with the Typhlosion. I probably should have anticipated the Heatran switch, but oh man, I still did a lot of damage actually with the Typhlosion. Dragonite, Xianpao, Garganical, Amoonguss, Urshifu, Fluttermane. Garganical is just like, I feel like the team makes a lot of sense, but the Garganical is definitely throwing me for a loop. And it's actually really annoying for my team because I can't Sleep Powder it. It's Wide Guard is actually like pretty annoying for my team. Yeah, this might be a tricky one here. I actually think Torkoal Lilligant's probably like a decent lead here. And then in the back, I like Typhlosion. I think I like Ursaluna to help break through the Garganical. Fluttermane could potentially. It's also useful in the Dragonite Xianpao, but the Dragonite Xianpao is kind of weird. Do I want Ursaluna? It could be Fluttermane, because I do get the special attack booster in the sun. Maybe. I think it's probably worth bringing over Ursaluna. Because the problem with the Ursaluna set is just like, it doesn't do damage. That's the problem. Like, it's a 140 base power or Headlong Rush that can do the most damage, but like otherwise every single one of its moves is like so weak. Earthquake's weak, Rock Slide is very pitiful damage, and Brick Break is not that useful. Like, I don't know. Let's see how this is going to perform though. I do really like the idea of just trying to break through with the Typhlosion setup if I can get the setup. I do need to get rid of the Xianpao. Xianpao is the biggest threat here. If I can get a Xianpao, it's a lot easier, which is like easy with Sun, but it's like not easy at the same time. All right. Amoonguss and the Garganical lead, so we're going to be playing a bit of a stall one right here. I think I'm willing to protect. I think I'm willing to double protect here. I want to scout for what they click. Because this might be like a Terra that's forced here. They don't have the best switch-ins. Because I can see Protect Amoonguss Sulk your turn one. I want to figure out who's Terraing here because the Amoonguss is threatened by the fire move and the Garganical is threatened by the grass or fighting move from the Lilligant. So I want to see like who Terra's here. Because if I can catch who Terra's here, it allows me to like safely target one slot guaranteed afterward. They don't have switch-ins other than like Amoonguss, and I guess they have Dragonite to switch in. They could be losing multi-scale, which is fine. But we are going to see K Terra. Good. And luckily I don't have to play proactively with the lead just yet. Garganical Terras. Okay. Into the Terra Ghost. Okay, perfect. So Typhlosion is looking really good later on. So we'll protect our Lilligant and our Torkoal here. Let's see. There should be no Amoonguss protect, I think. Right? Or did it? Oh, Wide Guard. They expected after Eruption. Okay, that makes sense. Spore into the Torkoal. I could technically go for the Terra Grassy if I want to with the Torkoal. It's not necessary though. I think I'm going to switch out the Lilligant into... Well, how fast is my Torkoal? I don't outspeed, right? Yeah, I'm in speed, which is fine. So I have a few options. I can go for a Leaf Blade immediately, get some damage off. I could Terra Grass the Torkoal and just Eruption, pick up the knockout into Amoonguss, which isn't a bad option per se. Like, I actually don't mind it at all. Because the Ghost typing might be useful under the only problem is like losing the... And it's making a Xianpao a little bit scarier, I suppose. But I think it's probably like an acceptable trade-off. I'm going to Leaf Blade and I'm going to Terra and Overheat. I could be wrong here. Amoonguss switching out. Dragonite? Oh, Urshifu. Okay. So the Urshifu is taking a heavy hit. It's also not threatening in this position because I can just Leaf Blade the following turn. Interesting. Okay. So we are going to Terra and a Grass here. Is the last one Dragonite? I don't think so. I think if you had Dragonite, you would have switched in. So probably a Xianpao. Xianpao's just so threatening. Leaf Blade into the Garganical. Okay, Chip. Sulcure into the Lilligant. All right. We get some overheat damage off into the Urshifu. Yep. Okay, so there are a few plays I could see them going for. Urshifu protecting, Urshifu switching out into back into Amoonguss is also another play I could see here. And I think we're definitely seeing Salt Cure from the Garganacl into Torkoal. I think I'm going to go hard Flutter Mane here, and I'm just going to overheat the Urshifu slot, which I don't think is a bad play here. I do like that play because I can potentially get some decent damage into the Amoonguss if it switches in. The Urshifu is just not really doing much. They get close combat the Lilligant. Like, they're clicking close combat. They're not clicking Surging Strikes in this position. They click Surging Strikes, that's fine too, because it's in the sun. It's not doing that much damage. I'd imagine close combat's coming out if they attack here, but more likely I'm expecting Protect or switch out into Amoonguss. So I'm just going to overheat to get a call because I got Chip into the Garganacl, but I'm not picking up the knockout to it anytime soon. So we're bringing out our Flutter Mane here. Get that special attack boost, and also just make sure we're not taking too much damage from Salt Cure because we don't want to be chipped away for everything on our team. I see the Detect, which is cool. And Salt Cure into Torkoal, which is fine. Okay. I want to say that Urshifu has to swap out. It's just not do anything. Amoonguss is probably coming back in. The Garganacl probably going to go on the offense here. What does more damage? Moonblast or Shadow Ball? Because the Shadow Ball is super effective, but Purifying Salt, I think Moonblast is just always stronger, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm just going to Moonblast to Garganacl. I'm going to swap out a Typhlosion because now is the time for Typhlosion to shine. It should be swapped Urshifu into Amoonguss, I want to say. And they are going to most likely just go for something with the Garganacl involving Salt Cure and the Flutter Mane. And then I can just go for a Flamethrower in the sun against the Amoonguss. And, well, I don't have Flamethrower. I actually have Heat Wave, Eruption, Overheat. Yeah, we're going to see the Urshifu swap, which makes sense. Going to be out into Amoonguss. Yep. Okay, so we called that switch. Perfect. Torkoal gets to retreat here. We get a free swap into our Typhlosion. Excellent. Hopefully they don't Salt Cure this slot because it would not be fun. A Moonblast does so much damage to Garganacl, actually. That's great damage. They recover, actually. That's really good for me. Okay. Because they didn't get Salt Cure damage, so the Flutter Mane is actually still really threatening. I'll take it. If I didn't Terra the Torkoal, I would just be able to go for like Terra Moonblast if I want to. I am going to Moonblast the Garganacl, and we're going to threaten Overheat pressure into Amoonguss. I could also double up the Garb, but I don't really want a hard read here. And Salt Cure is not like KOing me. The only problem is that any chip damage I do take, I am getting put in range of potential Aqua Jet or Sucker Punch later. We're going to see the Guard Protect. Is this an Amoonguss Protect too? Okay. Were they trying to stall out Sun? I think they were just trying to scout for what I'm locking into, because if I locked into Spread Move, they can click Wide Guard, of course. The Amoonguss can't really switch into anything, so I think my best play is just to Moonblast the Garg and just go for the Overheat into the Amoonguss, because they do not have a switch in, as we mentioned before. And we still have Sun for a few more turns, so I am going to go for a Moonblast into the Garg slot and Overheat, because Overheat just nukes everything on their team, right? They don't have a swap. Yeah, they Terra their only swap in, other than maybe Dragonite. I guess that means I should double up the Amoonguss just in case it is Dragonite, I suppose. Because, yeah, let's just Overheat Moonblast. If I miss, I'm going to be super upset. But that is the life of having Overheat on the Typhlosion here. Let's see. Because I don't see anything. They don't have any switch. That's the problem. They don't have any switch. And Garg doesn't put on enough immediate pressure. Because we saw Wide Guard, we saw Protect, we saw Salt Cure, we saw Recover. So we know it's full moveset. Doesn't have Heavy Slam. No swaps. So Overheat just going to nuke the Amoonguss. Perfect. So Amoonguss is eliminated. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I do got to watch out for the Xianpao though, if it is the last Pokemon, because that is going to be a pain to deal with. Moonblast, Pixie Plate, Special Attack Booster. Look at how much damage that does. Fantastic. Salt Cure into the Flutter Mane. Yep. I have a feeling Xianpao, Sucker Punch. Now we're actually going to play a dangerous game here. This is where we play the dangerous game. So Amoonguss is really not a threat. They have to go Shampoo now. Yep, Shampoo revealed. I wish I had any form priority, but I don't. Overheat and Sun might knock out Garg. I'm really close to say. There's 2 turns of Sun left, which is a really awkward turn. I don't really want to. So the Garg is playing really weird here because I don't know if it protects or not. I don't think you should ever protect Garg. I really want to Moonblast the Garg, and I want to overheat the Garg too. The Sucker Punch is super obvious, so I have no idea if they're gonna Ice Spinner or they're just gonna suck over the Flutter. Okay. So I think Overheat and Sun can knock out the Garg. If it doesn't, we're actually in a really bad shape. But if it does, we're in a great spot. So here comes Overheat and the Sun. Let's pick up the knockout. Okay. I want to make sure I get rid of the Garg because if it got a chance to recover, I think I like just guaranteed to lose the game. So I was like, okay, they can take a trade, whether it's Ice Spin or Sucker Punch, or they could Sucker Punch or Flutter Mane, which also worked here. I can go out in a Lilligant now, which is perfect. So this is a Moongus coming in. Or no, it's Urshifu. Sorry, I already KO'd the. Already KO'd earlier. Okay. Actually, that makes it weird then. I thought it was a Moongus for some reason. Urshifu was still alive. Okay. This might be an interesting end game. Sucker Punch is super obvious, but I have no clue if they're going to go for that. I really want to Sleep Powder. I think I have to Sleep Powder Shampoo and go Torkoal. I think the problem is that it's a Protect Mind game, right? Because I can go for the target into the Shampoo. I could go for a Leaf Blade in Urshifu. It's just like a really awkward situation. They kind of have to get some kind of read right here. Because I think if I get a knockout or the Sleep Powder, it's really awful for them, but we'll see. Bring the Torkoal. Sleep Powder. Missed there, unfortunately. But they also didn't protect. Ice Spin are going to come out into the Torkoal, which is going to not pick up the knockout. And we're going to see Close Combat come out into the Lilligant. That's going to seal the game there. Oh, unfortunate. I think that was the only Sleep Powder I went for, too. I had to go for it. Unfortunately, the Shampoo. I mean, if I Leaf Blade or Urshifu, then I think I win the game straight up. So that could have been an option, I suppose. Typhlosion can come in. But we do lose the Sucker Punch here. So yeah, there's not much I can do here. Yeah, there really is not anything I can do here. If I had to Sleep Powder, I'm like, okay, right? I think what I'd have to rely on is basically Shampoo just staying asleep for 2 turns. But yeah, like it wasn't guaranteed win even if I hit the Sleep Powder. But yeah, we don't even get to find that out. It was just ended up becoming a guaranteed loss position. I do think that the immediate targets were right. I think the only thing that was like bad was just like I thought that the Torkoal made sense at the time, but I don't think it was actually worth it looking back in retrospect. I really liked the idea of having the extra firepower, because if I had the extra firepower on Flutter Mane, for instance, I didn't take the Sol Cure damage, which means I got the knockout Garganical, don't take this extra Sol Cure, and then I'm still able to survive Ice Spin or Sucker Punch from the Shampoo. Assuming it wasn't like a Life Orb or like a roll of Adamant, but yeah. I think that was like the only huge mistake there. All right, let's go over the games. And game 1 had some suspicions about this team, especially after the lead. Breaking the Gale Wings on Talonflame and preventing them from getting speed controlled allowed my Typhlosion to destroy them in the sun after the setup. In game 2, made some aggressive plays with the Typhlosion early, and it paid off weakening the Cresselia. After the Heatran was put to sleep, I was able to build up damage into it, which allowed me to seal the victory. In game 3, other than the potential Sleep Powder hitting or going for the Leaf Blade instead into the Urshifu, I think the Terra Grass Torkoal did end up hurting more than helping in the long term, as having the offensive Terra would have helped into Garganical for the knockout, as well as having an Ice Spinner switch in. The new Hisuian forms are really fun to use. The Hisuian Typhlosion Eruptions able to do so much damage, and be immune to the fake outs is really nice, as I mentioned before. The Lilligant with Close Combat is another move that can just pressure a lot of switch-ins that could commonly switch into regular Lilligant because they would only run her grass type moves. Overall, this team was really solid to use. It is a little bit weak to the grass Terrahedron, which I had faced a little bit while trying out this team, but otherwise it was a blast to use. If you do want to try out the team, there is a rental code on your screen. You can check out the details of the team and the creator down below description. Of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.